This podcast is created as part of Podcast Lab by India Film Project in association with Anchor by Spotify. So, hey everyone, once again I'd like to welcome you all to the another session in which we have invited another guest who is working currently in data science field as a data scientist, and he have exposure to work with some financial firms and worked on different kinds of data in the banking sector. So in this episode we're going to explore the journey of a different data scientist and how his initial days are, okay, what kind of educational level he have go up with, and where he is right now and what kind of job and work he's into. So without wasting our time, I'd like to invite our today's guest. His name is Shashank Amavarapu. So hey Shashank, hi, welcome.
Hi Akash, that's a
Yep.
generous introduction. Thank you.
Right. So
So
yeah,
yeah,
this is it actually.
sorry.
चलेगा. आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी, right? Completely.
Yeah. I
This is
can
the
hear
first sentence that we often start with.
you. Okay, cool.
So
Do you want me to give a brief intro or something?
right, चलेगा. Brief से start करते हैं, please.
Yeah. So my journey into data science began with my master's degree, and yeah, it was postgraduate diploma in business analytics. I always had a interest in maths, and I always loved solving mathematical problems. And yeah, uh, basically in data science, you try to solve a lot of mathematical problems, a little more complex problems using the power of computer science and so on. So yeah, that's how my journey in data science started with my post graduation, and then I I worked as an intern with AMEX, where mostly I've learned most of the practical things when it came to data science. How different is it while you deal with real world problems, and uh, how to gather data and so on. What are the kind of challenges and everything. And slowly, yeah, my journey began with HDFC Bank for 2.5 years as a data scientist, and yeah, for the past 1 year, I've been with UGRO Capital as a data scientist again, mostly covering
Right.
different products in financial industry. Yeah. Sorry.
चलेगा. So start करते हैं simple way में. अभी आपका work कैसे चल रहा है? Work from home का scenario, right?
Uh,
How things are going on?
so I used to prefer going to office,
Right.
especially in financial industry. Like
Data is very
rely-
critical in this case.
data is that's another component to it. I mean, like you can protect the data and still work from home, but you need to
Right.
interact with a lot of stakeholders. You as a data scientist might have to interact with a number of business verticals to understand the kind of problems
The
you need to
domain.
solve,
Right.
and domain, and many disconnects as well. Especially data science is still a budding industry in financial world. I mean, it's not yet full-fledgedly implemented all over the financial system. So still there are disconnects here and there, which would be easier to solve if you are at office and if you are having discussions face to face. That way,
Right.
I would say I used to enjoy working from office more because work used to get done soon. But yeah, then there is always a perk of working from home as well. Like you get to do a lot of things as well by saving the time to go to
Right.
office. So yeah.
Yeah, so there is some positive part, but some negative parts as well. Okay.
Yes.
And things are going on ahead. Okay, so let us start with some basic journey about your beginning of the career. So how was your journey with IISc Bangalore? What kind of level you have developed, and further where you are working, you have joined with IIM Calcutta. So let's have a bit of this idea around these initial steps that you have gone through, right?
Yes, yes.
Any experience you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, like so my initial days at IISc Bangalore, I was I did my bachelor's in biological sciences. So uh, I wanted to get into a job and didn't want to continue my journey in research as such.
Right.
So
Okay.
I gave a lot of competitive exams, and through that I've ended up in data science even without knowing what it is, to be honest. But once I
Right.
entered it, I started enjoying it more because, yeah, obvious liking towards maths, and yeah, and computer science. It might seem like a challenge at the beginning, but at the end of the day, it's like any other language. The more you speak,
No,
the
right.
better you get at it.
You
Right?
can
So
interact.
yeah,
Right. Right.
it's like any language. Yeah. हिंदी सीख रहे हो कहीं पे भी मैं आंध्रा से हूँ हिंदी सीख रहा हूँ कहीं से भी so it's like any other language simple
Right.
the more you
Right.
speak the better you get at it so yeah I mean it was like that then finance definitely made it much more fun because you know the looking at defaulters trying to predict the defaulters or fraudsters that classification problem really excites you because you get to see different kinds of trends happening out there in the real
Mm.
world. What are the major
Right.
causes? Simple. I mean, those things used to excite me. Like the story you can tell from the data, right? Who would have thought
Right.
someone with a really good CIBIL score might even go bad because of some other granular factors, like something like
Right.
that. So all those stories made real fun to me. So yeah, that's how I got into this. So.
Sure. Sure. And what about the IIM Calcutta? I think from there you have done in the data analytics field itself. It's a complete
Yeah.
1 year program.
Yes.
That you
No, it's a 2 year program. So
Okay, 2 years. Sorry,
basically,
my fault.
yeah, that's okay. So it's
Yep,
called
please.
PGDPA or Postgraduate Diploma in Business Analytics.
Right.
So it consists of three academic semesters and one industry internship, one semester of industry. So in data science, you know, like there are three main components: statistics, machine learning, and if you are into business analytics, then a business application to it, right?
Business
So
sense out of it, right?
yeah. So then our course was designed in such a way that the first semester is spent in IISc Calcutta, one of the top
Right.
statistical institutes in India. So there you get to study statistics and design, like how to design experiments, how to do hypothesis testing, which is very important
Right.
if you are trying to
So
build up a problem and do any kind of machine learning program, right? Any kind of a machine learning. Then we
obviously,
went to second semester for IIT Kharagpur, where we learned machine learning algorithms in a little bit more depth. It was more computer science oriented there. Then third semester was at IIM Calcutta, where we got to use all the concepts we have learned in the first year in business,
Right.
solving business problems. Then fourth semester was an industry internship where each of us went to different companies and worked as a full-time employees, almost like a full-time employees for 6 months. Mine was with
Right.
American Express. So
Okay.
yeah, that's how the course was structured, and yeah, it
So yeah,
gave
I
a
think the
full flavor of data science. I guess.
right. So I can understand by the journey of you have taken in the IIM Calcutta. Like for data science, statistics is, we can say, the base of everything, right?
Yes.
And one of the best institute we can see is the statistical institute, and you have gone with the IISc Bangalore, then sorry, IISc Calcutta, right? And
IISc
then you
Calcutta
have
and Statistics
sorry,
Calcutta.
yeah,
Please.
IISc Calcutta, and then I think you got an exposure into IIT Kharagpur, right?
Yes.
And after that, that 6 months that you have spent in IIM Calcutta, and further your exposure towards working environment in AMEX. So I think it's a great package that we can even think of. Like, it's a capable knowledge that can be built with this kind of code that has been developed, right?
Yeah, it's one of
Okay,
the top
so
courses in India for data science if you're looking out for it.
right. Yeah, so because the kind of explanation you have given me, okay, for all these 4 semesters, which is being divided into different sectors, that make a lot of sense
Yes.
and a lot of basic understanding, right?
Yes.
It's great actually. Okay, so yeah, this is your educational journey, okay, and from there you have gone further. Let's talk about your first job. What kind of difficulties you have get, okay, and how things are there. What kind of work that you are into your first job, please.
So I mean, like while getting into HDFC, I already had like 6 months of training at American Express, right? So I knew
Right.
kind of problems I would be solving and so on. Though there was only credit card there, here there would be much more, many other retail products as well, because it's a
Right.
bank. But still, there were challenges which would come up. So I mean, like foreign organization and HDFC is an Indian organization, so you have RBI guidelines coming into play in when it comes to Indian banking system and so on. So the kind of maturity towards data science is far more different
Right.
in this scenario than that, right? So initially, the idea was to make the stakeholders understand the importance of machine learning and stuff, and then how could it improve the traditional models which they already had? How could it make it easier? I mean, to understand those models as well. Right? You can't say
Right.
there is a model sitting and it is predicting you going bad or not. So you need to be answerable to some regulatory institutes like RBI and so on. What does your model take into play and everything? So yeah, we were
Right.
researching and explaining those models in a better way, building them in a simpler way, explaining them in even more simpler way, and so on. So that was largely the task, trying to innovate the exist processes and take it to the next level of machine learning and so on. So that was majorly
Right.
my role in the 2.5 years I've been at HTS.
Right. So all we can grasp right now is that once we start a data science project, it's keep improving, right? After each and every time segment, we need to improve it out, because with time we may find out something that working as
Sorry,
per
Akash,
what we are looking
lost
for.
you. I lost you. Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have said that during the what we can say data science journey, okay, with any firm, we go on improving our models, okay, time to time, right?
Hmm.
Like from scratch, we'll try to figure out what are the noises that are still there in the data which can be removed, and what are the target points still there which we have unable to catch out, right? And how to make it more concrete towards our model. So I think this is what a complete journey look like.
Yeah, I mean, like, see, whenever any data science project is started, right, you try to make simple assumptions and try to get at simple trends, right? So people will start out with something as simpler as a linear regression and logistic regression because it is easier to understand. Since they are linear models, you can directly see which are the major variables which are affecting your model and so on. And
Right.
slowly
Right.
from there, the incremental lift comes from the non-linear models because our world is not doesn't work in a linear way. So yeah,
Right.
slowly you go on testing non-linear models as well with more assumptions, and step by step you do that. So it's a process and so on. And this is only like the structured data part we are talking about. There is also a lot of unstructured data available there, which is not fed
Right.
into Excel sheets directly. It might be in terms of text, images, and so on. So yeah, even trying to bring that, because right now we have the technology for it. So even trying to bring that
Right.
to get even more richer insights. Yeah, That's how it is. Like one by one, you try to hypothesize first, then try to see हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. Then slowly you'll build it up. So yeah.
Right. Yep, I think that make a lot of sense. चलेगा. So अभी हम बात करते हैं, okay, because ये हमने complete segment जो बनाया है, okay, इसमें हम basically ये figure out करते हैं that what kind of life that we are into, okay, and apart from that, if you are a fresher or if you are someone who is trying to transition into data science, तो कहाँ पे आपको focus करना है. And most important thing is that जब आप fresher हो या फिर अगर आप डेटा साइंस बैकग्राउंड से नहीं आते हो या फिर आप किसी और फील्ड में हो एंड ट्रांजिशन करना चाहते हो, तो इनिशियल लेवल पे मींस इट्स मैक्स प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट यू विल गेट सम रिजेक्शंस, राइट? हाउ टू फिगर आउट, ओके, एंड हाउ टू इंप्रूव दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. Here you can give some positive points to the listeners, right?
Yeah. So probably I'll try to explain the data science universe in an organization so that they'll be able to try and relate to different entry points available here, right? हमेशा जरूरी नहीं है कि जो मैंने entry point लिया वही ले, because that's how I came into play. But there are many people already who know coding or already who know good statistics and so on. They can also get in through a different and easier route as well. So let's start with the data science universe. So for the entire data science universe to work in an organization, right, what you need is, first thing is data coming in without any issues, capturing without any loss, streaming, मतलब seamlessly आ रहा है अंदर कोई issues के बिना, and that you are able to access it and you are able to make decisions and you are able to model the data at the back end, and then वो model को तुम live deploy कर पा रहे हो. So for that data to flow in a proper manner everywhere, right? So you need some people called as data engineers who take care of data architecture and like, no, agar as simple as in SQL data warehouse to complex cloud infrastructures or big data infrastructures and so on, right? Depending on the size of the organization. So yeah, that there is one part. Those are data engineers who are very important for a data scientist like me to work properly. Okay.
Right.
Then the second part comes is the data science, right? Once you get the data, once you download it, then you need to able to make good assumptions about data, right? Then you need to have good mathematical concepts about what is happening, and मतलब वो अच्छे से hypothesis बिठाना पड़ेगा आपको, then modeling करना पड़ेगा, then you need to test your assumptions, सही से आ रहे नहीं आ रहे, अगर उस मॉडल को आप real world data set में डालोगे तो कैसे perform करेगा, and everything. All these things you do. Once you do it, then you'll have to be able to, you know, put it in live action. So then deployment आता है, development के बाद deployment आता है. So for आप किसी भी टाइप का मॉडल बना रहे हो, कर को कि पाइथन में बना रहे हो, आर में बना रहे हो, स्काला, पाइस्पार्क, कहीं पे भी बना रहे हो, that needs to be worked and integrated with your existing data sets, right? तो वहाँ पे मॉडल deployment team आ जाता है. And then once it is live, someone has to keep track of what kind of benefits your model is giving, and also how good is it working. आपने आज बनाया, आज के डेट पे वैलिडेट किया, कल के डेट पे कैसे काम कर रहा है, कैसे काम नहीं कर रहा है, something like that. So a product analytics team or a business analytics team take ownership of your models जो भी develop होते हैं, and they need to have good knowledge of data science as well, because वो models को rerun करके check करना पड़ता है आज के current data sets जो भी future में आ रहे हैं या आज आ रहे हैं उस पे कैसे बन रहे हैं, because this model has been built on the past data. कोई भी model past data होगा, right? So on. So all these teams are very important. So for a fresher, who is who has no clue into data science, they can come through any part and anyway. Okay.
Right.
क्योंकि ये सारे teams are very equally important. मैं आज data scientist हूँ. I can't work without the data engineers or the deployment guys, model deployment guys,
right.
or the product analytics guys or the business analytics guys. क्योंकि all these
interdependability.
हाँ, interdependability. वो पूरा ecosystem को संभालने के लिए सब लोगों की जरूरत पड़ती है. So right. I mean, like, you can enter through anywhere. Okay. But if you are interested in solving mathematical problems and थोड़ा code intensive काम करना है, वो करना है, तो then data scientist is the right job you are looking for and so on. ठीक है. And उसके लिए आपको थोड़ा ज़्यादा maths में घुसना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा ज़्यादा coding में घुसना पड़ेगा. Then I mean, मैथमेटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट्स अंडरस्टैंड करते हुए कोडिंग तो आ ही जाएगा. तो मैथमेटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट्स अंडरस्टैंड करते हुए हाइपोथेसिस करने की कैपेबिलिटी बनाना पड़ेगा. दैट यू कैन बिल्ड इट थ्रू डिफरेंट कोर्सेस, यू कैन डू हैकाथॉन्स, यू कैन इम्प्रूव दैट एंड सो ऑन. तो दैट इज हाउ यू गेट इनटू डेटा साइंस. देयर इज अनदर वे आल्सो, दैट इज लाइक कि इफ यू लाइक solving business problem more, creating a strategy out of data science, right? उसके लिए then there is like business analytics or data analysts. These people belong to the product analytics team, right? They productionalize your model, right? So then you need to have an understanding, but इतना deeper understanding की जरूरत नहीं है, because you are not creating the model or you are not trying to मतलब improve a model or something like that. 1000 model try out नहीं कर रहे, जो model आपके सामने है उसको productionalize करें. So if you have the basic knowledge of it also, and if you are interested in solving business problems more, then that feels
business analyst
more,
right?
Business analyst, and it can be easier to get in as well, because business is something which you can pick up on the go. The more you spend talking to business stakeholders, the better you get at it, right? And
it's then, something around the domain.
And then I mean, like, slowly once you get a hang of it, if you like that place, you can stay at that place only, or else you can move to data science as well and data engineering as well, up to you. Then comes data engineering part of it. Data engineering part of it also is also a very, very important thing. Okay, they are responsible for the smooth flow of data, right? And that is a little different from data science, but it also, I mean, includes a lot of coding. But I mean, it is like learning databases, understanding databases, how do they work, which database suits which kind of scenario, and so on. Like, you need to be able to understand those things, those stuff, and yeah, then that's it. I mean, like, that's how.
Right. So I think you have covered almost every aspect that if you have that kind of capability, that then where you should go. Whether you'll be choosing towards the business side or the mathematical and statistical concept side, which leads to the data scientist profile, or even towards data engineering side, right? So I think you've got a lot of information that will be needed for any freshers level, okay, to get a broader idea and broader perspective that how they should initiate their initial level journey. So I think, that covers almost, I think, the greater part. Okay. Now let's have a bit idea, okay, that what kind of situation or what kind of problem solving, okay, right now you are into. Okay, I mean to say, like, we as a data science people, okay, invest most of our time, okay. So there are some multi-dependability that will be there. Okay, there is some, there is always a data requirement, and we work on things which is always data hungry, right? So we often need some set that keep innovating our data. And once some data science as a fresher or even at experience level, you not completely work on building models, but sometimes analyzing other things that might not be possible with the model development, but some triggers that help to make that model better.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
So how
Understood.
a complete means you can say a 1 year exposure look like? Okay, where you have invested some time in this segment, some time in that segment. A bit of our day-to-day journey.
Yeah. See, I mean, like, I've been all over the place and I've done many of the things, except
Right.
going hardcore into data engineering. I've done most of
Right.
the stuff. I mean, kabhi na kabhi, if you are taking ownership of your model, you will be curious yourself. You wouldn't wait
Right.
for the product
Absolutely.
analytics team to give validation for you. You would want to understand business output kaisa aa raha hai. So, yeah,
Right.
you do end up doing this stuff. So, see, first thing is the very important thing is what is it giving to the business, right? First thing is to
Right.
try and understand the business use case of it. Now अभी
Right.
आपको business teams के साथ बैठ के डिस्कस करके कि क्या डेटा पॉइंट्स ज्यादा अफेक्ट करते हैं, किस टाइप का बिजनेस है, एंड एवरीथिंग यू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? नाउ उसके रेलेवेंट पे आप डेटा लेकर आते हो and as
Right.
per your business objective you make up a prediction flag कि हाँ इस चीज को predict करना चाहता हूँ and so on, right? So let's
Right.
take a simple use case in banking, like the default prediction problem. And let's say आप personal loan के लिए आप एक default prediction का बना रहे हो,
Right.
एंड इसमें क्या क्या चीजें आता है कि आपको ब्यूरो में बहुत सारे वेरिएबल आता है, आप ब्यूरो में कैसे परफॉर्म कर रहे हो अक्रॉस डिफरेंट एंड सो ऑन, तो बैंकिंग कैसा है, ऑल दीज थिंग्स यू गेट टू नो कि व्हेन यू सिट विद बिजनेस टीम्स कि क्या क्या मैटर करता है करके, right? Now you
Right.
put all those variables in, now you crunch numbers, like you try you take all your statistical assumptions, then you try building a machine learning model. And let's say you have built it. Once you have built it on a training set, right? And
Right.
the idea of model is to reduce the error on the training set. So you might tend to see model the noise that is like available in your training set. So now you want to understand कि real world में कैसे काम करेगा. So then आपके पास एक वैलिडेशन सेट भी होगा, एक आउट ऑफ टाइम सेट भी होगा, जहाँ पे आप वैलिडेट करके देखोगे एंड इन तीनों में जो कंसिस्टेंट परफॉर्म करेगा वो आप मॉडल फाइनलाइज करोगे. नाउ गोइंग अहेड 6 months डाउन द लाइन यू वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपका मॉडल परफॉर्मेंस डिग्रेड हुआ है या इम्प्रूव हुआ है, डज इट मतलब स्टेबल है और डज इट नीड्स टू बी इम्प्रूव्ड एंड सो ऑन, राइट? सो दोस थिंग्स विल कम इनटू प्ले. लेट्स से कि मैंने आज किसी को बोल दिया कि इसका डिफॉल्ट होने का चांसेस बहुत कम, बट 6 months down the line those profile people have started defaulting more, they have started
Right.
bouncing more, or they have started going into delinquency more. Then those are
Right.
early signs or early indicators of your model not being able to perform better, right?
Right.
So then the question comes into play ki what difference is happening. Are those variables on which the model was built, उन variables में distribution change हुआ क्या?
Right.
So has I mean population में कहीं पे मतलब वेरिएबल्स का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चेंज हो गया क्या, उसकी वजह से कोई इश्यू आ रहा है, और एल्स वाज दैट मॉडल ओवरफिट ऑन द ट्रेनिंग डेटा, इसकी वजह से अब इश्यूज आर, सो ऑन. यू गो बैक, यू विजिट, यू ट्राई टू इम्प्रूव द मॉडल एंड देन सो ऑन. तो ये एक मॉडल वैलिडेशन स्टेप होता है व्हिच बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ठीक है? एंड दैट्स मोस्टली हाउ द लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ ए modeling problem looks like.
Right. So yeah, I think
did I answer the
this,
question or yeah.
right. I think absolutely. So this is this is the kind of journey that you as a data scientist have gone through, right? So this is where you have, I think, segregated the problem. Okay, because you are the sole, I think, worker or even enthusiast towards the problem. So it's a bit time consuming sometimes to wait for the data analyst or data engineering team to coordinate and get really what I'll be waiting for. So it's a bit not wasting our time and sitting by doing myself, or if I'll be getting the leeway to have those people working with me and working in a very coherent way so that I can done my job. So in that way, so choose the right way where it can be done in a very flexible way. And after completing even your work, it's not done. You have to take a step to understand whether the model that you have
definitely
developed,
definitely because like एक बार मॉडल बनाने के बाद आपका काम वहाँ पे खत्म नहीं हो जाता because
right,
it has to
obviously.
continue to deliver a value to your company or else nothing. That is a waste of time, right? So
Yeah.
you want to see that, and एक बार so once you have fixed what are the things you would be looking at, right? Triggers के हिसाब से,
Right,
मॉडल वैलिडेशन
Right.
के हिसाब से कि हमेशा यही पैरामीटर्स में मैं चेक करता रहूंगा, लाइक डेलिवेंसी में जा रहा है कि नहीं जा रहा है, बाउंस रेट्स में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है, पॉपुलेशन कैसे शिफ्ट हो रहा है, ऑल दिस थिंग्स दिस कैन बी
Right.
ऑटोमेटेड, राइट? बिकॉज दिस विल बी इन अ फिक्स्ड फॉर्मेट ऑल द टाइम. And these things can be automated, and it can be like a click and play every month. At the month end, you will see ki how is your portfolio performing according to your model predictions and so on. So
right,
that it will not be time consuming. Like it will take an investment. Ki okay, it will take like a month of investment to automate this thing, but then again, from the next time onwards, you can do it in a day. Because it's automated.
Right.
So it's like that.
Right. But still you have to work and find out and figure out the kind of problems, right?
Yeah.
Great. So I
mean,
think
solving one problem doesn't solve the entire organization problem.
right.
So we've just talked about the application side of it. There is collection side of it also. There is behavioral side of it also. So there are
and data integrity is another issue.
Everywhere there is data, right? Everywhere where there is data, then there you can build a model to improve the performance there. It is just like trying to see what your business wants and then trying to understand that problem well and trying to come up with a model
solution
and then building a strategy on top of it. So yeah,
sure.
That's how it is.
So yeah, I think that's a very vast session that we have done today. Okay, and we have elaborated on much of the better and important points around the data science. So yeah, I think thanks Shashank. Okay, thanks for joining in. I'd like to first of all inform to all the listeners, okay, that Shashank is one of our mentors in the Data Talk community. Okay, who often join, and he has taken almost 3 to 4 plus AMA sessions plus. Even if we are communicating to do something new, whether we'll be able to execute it or not, okay, the kind of support you have shown is, I think we really think that the positivity that we can see in some of the members within the community, we can really build some good stuff for the people, or some for freshers, or even for experience, some good content where they can come together and figure out a lot of problem solving strategy into data science. So actually we are working on our platform to make it a bit bigger. Okay, so Shashank, what we have done right now, that our platform, the Data Talk, okay, we have converted into a full-fledged web panel, and Android application has also been launched. Soon we'll be going on with the iOS application. So there is a different segments which talk about the kind of problems that we really face, and it have all the nuances. I think we might be launching it within the next few days. Okay, that really matters for us as a data scientist, which is almost not there outside. So almost 2 years of our work. So let's see. And yeah, thanks. And we'll keep seeing you the next time as well. Thank you very much. Shashank.
Definitely. Anytime. Happy to help.
Thanks.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon.